Good afternoon and welcome back to the stream. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all doing well today. It is finally time. After months of waiting in great anticipation, the Factorio DLC is here. And from everything I've seen, it's everything we've wished for. I've played a bit of the space exploration mod that we've hired the developers of to help develop the Space Age DLC, and if it's even close to as good as that, then this is going to be absolutely fantastic. And from all the content I've seen being put out, it absolutely is as good, if not better. So let me waste no more time. I normally like to do a little bit of an intro thing here, but honestly, I just want to get into the game as fast as possible, really. I played a couple hours yesterday after the DLC release, just to see that my PC was holding up well with it, and to decide whether I wanted to run any mods. And God, part of me is so tempted to at least, because a bunch have already updated, and the temptation to throw in Long Reach and Squeak Through is extremely strong. But I think I'm going to resist. A new DLC, so much new stuff in it, I want to get the authentic vanilla experience, you know? So we're going to be making a new game. After my testing, I figure I do want to go for a slightly modified game setup. Because I'd like to get the initial stuff, since you can modify what happens on each planet, I want to buff up Navis a little bit and just hurry along the process of getting into all of the really new stuff. So the Rich Resources preset puts richness at 200%. I think I'm also going to bump up the size to probably also to maybe not quite 200. Let's say I bump up the size of research patches to 150. I think that should suffice. We have more stuff per patch and we can extract more from each patch at a time. I think that's pretty good. Frequency we'll probably leave alone because I don't quite want to go to a rail world, but I do want to encourage spreading the base out a little bit. With that in mind, I mean, this looks pretty okay for a starting spot, to be honest. Maybe a little far in some of these patches. I don't want to make things super simplistic, but I do want to ease up a little on the initial conditions. A lot of trees, which is generally good because it spares you from early biter attacks. I've also decided to resist the desire to turn cliffs off because they are a part of the game, even if I find they just kind of get in the way most of the time. I did consider turning frequency up as well because in the early game, running to places to get anything built is painful, especially without long reach or anything like that. But no, we want to get as I said, close to the authentic vanilla experience, if not quite there. Right next to each other can be a problem because it makes it awkward to put miners right on the side, and things can get bunched up, but this is pretty good. And then, like, start off initially building here, and then all of this space to bring in resources from there and there. No easy nearby copper, but it's not far. I struggle sometimes to judge how big of an area this is when I'm looking at it like this. But I think this is mostly fine. That's a lot of cut-off land here. That is shallow there. And we don't have a water fill mod. I gotta keep that in mind. There's landfill, there's no water fill. But that's a lot less to defend. Cross here, cross here, cross here. That, and then mostly from the south will be the issue. Pollution will spread fairly quickly in this direction, slower in this direction. We can afford to be picky, there's plenty of seeds to go around. Just keep clicking until I find one that I really, really like the look of. Or maybe adjust stuff as well. I can always, of course, bump up, you know, the size of iron and copper patches, since they're the most important, the others not so big of an issue. Coal, I suppose, technically, but meh. Yeah, again, this is pretty contained. That's a lot of iron up there. I'm not seeing any copper around. Besides this initial patch, where is the copper? Any? All the way up there? No. The difficult balance between I want this to go a fairly quick start and I don't want to completely trivialize the initial base building. I'm not terribly good at Factorio, I will admit. I enjoy the game a lot, but I've not, you know, I'm not the type who's gone and built mega bases or played, you know, any of the horribly complicated mods like Nullius or anything like that. Even in my Crustoria plus Space Age playthrough, I didn't get that far into things. This looks pretty good though, so here's the seed and the settings in case anyone's interested. Let's get into it and see how it goes. So excited to be back in this game. Alright. Thank you for that. Now give me all of the little starting things and then let's get into it. I contemplated playing the initial couple of hours or however long off stream, just so I could get the basics set up and then start streaming when I've actually got, you know, anything resembling a factory going. But I decided that no, it would be more interesting to go from the very beginning and show how everything develops. I'm going to start off with the initial one I get of these over here. Let's see, any rocks with coal in them? Yes, lovely. Yeah, I want to at least try showing the start of this on stream. I might end up changing my mind later and playing more off stream and then showing progress every now and then on stream. It depends on how Factorio feels to play while chatting over it. Because I have found in the past that some games, even though I love playing them off stream, on stream I just cannot focus on the game and talking at the same time. It's simply too much. Hopefully Factorio will not be one of those, but it remains to be seen. I'm not really up to date on speedrun strategies or anything like that. There's one YouTube channel that I currently forget the name of that I've watched do speedruns, but not learned the actual strategies for. I do know that it involves digging up rocks like this, which I normally don't do, but it is a pretty good way to get yourself an initial little lump of stone and coal instead of having to dig them up from the patches until you get your first few miners set up. There's one, I need 2 at least, thank you. Alright, and we stick those on here. Point them into each other. I suppose I shouldn't assume that whoever's watching is going to know much about playing Factorio. So you set up a couple burner miners like this, they dig up coal, place coal into each other, and that way they keep each other fueled, and then you can just come along and grab coal out of there. Another thing I'm probably going to be sorely missing is whatever the mod is called, the smart distribution mod, where you can just drag over a bunch of things and it will... even distribution, that's what it's called. Where you can just drag over a bunch of stuff and it will evenly split your coal or whatever into all of them. In vanilla, we cannot do that. And it is frustrating to no end. Okay. My test world I had to go a little bit more quickly than I'm going to need to do here, because I started in a completely barren area, which meant that I had spiders knocking at the door very, very rapidly. That posed a little bit of an issue. Alright, get me another of these. I'll want to devote the next 2 to more coal production. Oh yeah, and something else worth noting. New research right from the get-go. We've got stuff different. Craft 10 copper plates to get electronics, and craft 50 iron plates to get steam power. Then making a science lab to unlock science packs, which I thought is very interesting. And I think a little bit later on, the steel axe, which improves your mining speed, is researched by crafting 50 steel beams. And it counts whatever you make automation-wise as crafting. On the topic of which, I did get a few achievements during my test run. There is the one for... I'm not going to do any of the speed achievements, that's simply not going to happen. There is the one for launching a rocket to space while manually crafting no more than 111 items. We're already at 38. And I would have to quickly beeline to automation in order to not make 111. So that's 10. One for the assembly machine, which then requires the circuits, the gears, the plates. Basically, I'm not going for it, is what I'm trying to say. I considered a bunch of stuff, and as always, there's the trade-off between wanting to do everything you can to make things interesting, and being realistic and not getting over-ambitious. And it can be a difficult balance to maintain. Alright, give me one more of these and then we'll put those on coal production. There we go. Just turn this on that way, turn this way, and then they'll all feed into each other. I don't know if other people do it differently, if other people just have pairs all the way along. I tend to make a long chain that all feeds into each other. Alright, more of these. Now, should try to get started on a few other things. So, going to want some copper, going to want some stone as well. Just a gap in the middle of this ore patch, that's irritating. Okay, along the side. 5 might be a little overkill for this quickly in. I would power you. I'm going to have to cut down a bunch of trees. I would just set this entire area on fire later on when we unlock the flamethrower. But first of all, I'm going to need this stuff clear before then. And secondly, we only really want to clear out the trees that are immediately in the way. We probably don't want to burn down the entire forest and lose every last bit of its pollution absorption. That would be unfortunate. Give me more coal. Give me more iron. We are going to want a few chests to put stuff in. And more mining drills. I'm never quite sure what the most efficient path for something like this is. Is it better to beeline quickly to better options? Or is it better to scale up what you already have so that the path to get those better options is smoother? I don't rightly know. Okay, we've unlocked that, so now we just need to make one research lab. We'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, there's a bit of a balance between investing in better options and making full use of the options you currently have. I tend to lean towards holding off on scaling up until I've got the opportunity to make the better options. But I don't know if that's necessarily the better approach. And I think that approach maybe works better for when I'm doing stuff by myself off-stream, just because, what's it called? Just because I can leave stuff running in the background, you know? When it's only me... Okay, we're going to want this, we're going to want these as quick as possible, we're going to want these. I like having one of these around, and then some protection in case biters do show up quicker than expected. I like that we can now just queue up research immediately. That used to be something that you only got right near the end of the tech tree, and I'm not sure why it was all the way near the end of the tech tree, and I imagine that the developers agreed, since they've now put it further forward. I need a lot more iron in this. Let's get all of these set up. I think that's me out of stone as well, so I want to get a little bit of that. Let me put the chest on here as well. Just one of these putting out stone into a chest. We don't need much of it at the moment, so it's fine if it goes slowly. It also wouldn't hurt to have one making bricks. The bricks from my couple hours playing yesterday, I only really needed once I was building walls, and at that point I could just automate the creation. That's not at all what I wanted to do. I wanted to grab these out of here, not grab the coal out of the miners. Oh dear, I've messed this entire thing up. There we go. Alright. More coal production. Seems to be a point of struggle at the moment. Get me all of those. Over here. And this is where the temptation to leave things be until I can get the better stuff comes from. Because refilling these is just so irritating. It would be so much easier if I could simply stick down a bunch of electric miners and not have to think about it. Oh, stone is the issue here. Is there a rock around? There must be one somewhere. Here we go. I don't know if that's faster or slower than heading up to the stone patch, but I do know that it's less fought. So yeah, part of this stream will be a test to see whether... oh, goodness. Will be a test to see whether streaming Factorio is even something I want to do in the first place, or if I just make videos out of it later or something like that. On the subject of videos, I should probably record this while I'm streaming, so that if I do decide to make videos, I can separate the game audio and my own audio. I specifically went out of my way to set up the separate channels on Streamlabs, and then I just consistently, completely forget that it's something I'm supposed to do. If I ever have the kind of money where I can get myself an editor, I feel like they're going to be mad at me a lot when I forget that I'm supposed to separate my audio sources out. But what can you do? It just hasn't been relevant so far, so I keep forgetting about it. Yeah. I also keep forgetting to post a go live tweet. Now that might not matter for much longer, considering how everyone seems to be fleeing Twitter. I have considered going and making myself a Blue Sky account, since that seems to be where we're all heading to now. But, I already forget Like, there's still enough happening on Twitter that I don't think it's time to fully abandon ship and hop over to another site. I really don't know that I can maintain two separate social medias. I already barely remember that I'm supposed to be posting stuff and updating on Twitter. Am I going to be able to remember that I also need to go post the same stuff or even make more posts that I can then put on Blue Sky? I don't know that I am. What direction do I want to run this? Down, I think. They don't take up that much space, but I don't want to extend in the direction of this. I want to extend in a direction where nothing else is happening. No, don't make me another of these. Got one. Give me some pipes as well. These should definitely go on the quick bar. You don't really need a pipe in between there where I've just put... Oh, actually, hang on. No, I should have these facing this way because I'll be bringing in coal from this direction. Yeah. Okay, how much room do I need? 2 of these. Like down here, roughly? Like this? I think that's not far enough over, is it? No, so a bit further down. Oh, you can go over a bit further here. Is this enough? Looks like it. Excellent. Okay, so this will be power production once I actually need it. I suppose I do want to research stuff, so I may as well get that set up over here now. Those are very good at Factorio to give you some idea of the kind of level that I'm operating at. When I had played previously and done vanilla Factorio to the state of launching a rocket, I'd done the entire thing with handcrafted wooden power poles. I could just never be bothered to set up the crafting for other power poles. It never seemed relevant, so I just didn't do it because I always had so much wood laying around, and crafting power poles is so quick that I would just make more in inventory. Which is terrible, and really you should set up a mall and get some automated power pole production as soon as possible, but I simply never got around to it. And I didn't even necessarily regret it at any point. It's not like I was running out of power poles. I maybe had to wait a second in between for them to craft, but I still had enough. I'll try to be better on stream. As I said, a lot of how I've played Factorio in the past has been a symptom of the fact that I could just play it kind of semi in the background, you know? Set a few things up, and even if my base is producing a pitiable amount of science or whatever, as long as it's producing any amount, it really doesn't matter. Have we gone over this thing by now, after all? Yeah. As long as it's producing anything, as long as we're making any progress, I could just wait things out indefinitely. Which is not really the right way to play an automation game. You know, if you're not automating stuff, then what even is the point? Let me fix that slightly. I seem to be drifting off. There we go, hopefully that's better. I really don't know what else I can do. I have gotten the ring light set up. Maybe it's not the right color. Maybe if I change it to a more bluish light, the camera will do better with that. It shouldn't be a lighting issue with the way that face tracking works here, where it's from the iPhone camera with its infrared stuff for Face ID. Okay, this is maybe overkill. I don't think we really should need quite this many. But I do keep running out of coal, so... The thing with supplying coal by hand like this is that you will not have enough until suddenly you have way too much. And that way too much shouldn't be an issue, except it starts clogging up your inventory, and then you want to place a chest down to keep it in, and then you forget about the chest, and then suddenly you've got boxes full of coal sitting around the place and nowhere to put them. You need to empty them out somewhere so you can move them. The whole thing is just a mess. Just a huge mess. I don't know exactly how far we're going to get today. With me talking while playing, I don't know whether that's more or less distracting than having a video open in the background while playing. If it's about the same, then I reckon we should be getting to... we should be getting to the point where we're, like, unlocking cars, I suppose. This first little bit of research. There's so much more now. Look at all this endgame stuff. We've got new science packs. Cryogenic, agricultural, electromagnetic, and metallurgic. Which is a lot all after the space science. The first couple science packs are quite straightforward. Even chemical, even though it's a nuisance, is still fairly doable. After that, I find it gets very difficult. In the one game I did play all the way to rockets, I think I had like a single, what are they called? A single assembling machine producing each of the high-level science packs, because I simply couldn't be asked to finagle more than that out of my spaghetti base. And as I said, as long as it's producing anything, I can just leave the game running in the background, and I'll get all the resources I need. Everything will get done eventually. Okay. Decent amount of iron. Probably enough to get started on some actual stuff with. So, what do I need? I need some coal. I need to start making belts as well as soon as possible. We'll handcraft a few for now, and then get them set up and automated as quick as we can. The trees are going to get in the way in that regard a little bit, but what can you do? Let's also craft some more... Actually, science pack are only copper and a gear wheel. We'll set that up to be automated as fast as possible. This will only take like a minute. Oh, I didn't realize that we had science production information. I don't know if that's new or I've just never moused over this because I always just use this shortcut. Alright, another, like, 3... let's go for 6 science labs. I'm not going to be able to stock 6 science labs initially, but as soon as we get one proper furnace stack set up, supplying 6 should be doable. I don't remember what stuff I can move through without the squeak-through mod and what stuff I can't. I think mining drills you can't go between without squeak-through. What else? Mining drills and... the burner ones of course you can, as I'm doing here, but the electric ones you can't go past without squeak-through. Solar panels. I think also pipes. If you have a row of pipes, you can't go through that in vanilla. Yeah, that's a solid wall. We get a little... I thought that was on the Alt key, but no, it's a little mouse over indicator of what fluid is in a pipe. They did change the fluid dynamics, but I gotta be honest, I didn't know how fluid dynamics worked previously in Factorio, and I certainly don't know how they work now. So that's kind of moot for me. Alright, I have stuff queued up. Click on the end of the queue... Steel processing, and then okay, get me a line of these, get me transport belts and inserters on my hotbar, make some longhand inserters as well while we're at it, and then get me just get me a bunch of assembly machines. Okay. I'm going to set these up. I have a belt running along the side of them. And then like this. So, and the last pair will go here. I have a belt running up here like this. And then a couple of assembly machines down here. And I'm just going to place them down a couple chests and let all that be manually supplied by me. I'll bring more stuff over when they need it. Don't need this behind here if I've got all poles in front. Cancel that last order. Do put these on the end. Yeah, we'll need more inserters and then these. That's good. In the meantime, grab more resources and have a drink. I did debate as well whether it would even be sensible to play Factoria on stream in this environment, because everybody is playing Factoria right now, like absolutely everybody, so discoverability is non-existent for this game. You're playing Factoria and so is absolutely everyone else. But then I decided, discoverability is nice, but also I want to play the factory game really, really badly. And if anyone happens to come along and watch, then great. If not, you know, there's more days in the week. We'll come back to the usual games later on. But now I just want to build. You do got to keep a little bit of a separation, you know. You have to have some, you know, people often talk about not commodifying all of your interests. You got to have some stuff that you do just for fun. And I get that, and there are a few games that I play off stream, but I felt like with this, I've been so looking forward to it and so excited for it that it would just be a waste to not at least try to stream it, you know? There we go, that's probably way too much power production for the time being, but our power demands will scale up very quickly once we start putting all of the stuff down. I'm going to rearrange all of this stuff I'm putting on my hotbar later on as well. It's just for the moment. Like this, yeah, we have one feed in the plates, and then this makes the gear wheels. Okay, chest here and here. And then an output. And this is super, super bad and tiny and not nearly enough throughput. But it is an amount, which means we'll at least get the initial few researches done. And then I can always come back and rebuild all this nonsense later. Now then, we are going to need so many more of these as time goes on. I could handcraft a few science packs. Okay, space-wise, I need to clear out a ton of these trees, and I think... Oh, what was the key to... Okay, first things first, tab is supposed to be switch weapon, not open map. Controls... no. What is set to tab? I don't know exactly what it's called, otherwise I would search it. Crafting, inventory, quick bar, maybe? Does this count as a quick bar? Tools, no, those are those things. Panels, toggle world map, tab. Yeah, no, I don't want that. Make that just M. Confirm message is tab. Tab. Okay, so is there a combat? Miscellaneous? Pause game, which weapon or select weapon. Next weapon, C, no, tab. There we go. Okay. Alright, and what's the button for force fire on a thing? Because there is something you can press to make yourself shoot. Controls. No. Shoot. Shoot enemy, shoot selected. Shift spacebar. Okay. A little awkward for me to press because I'm left-handed and controls are often not set up with left-handedness in mind. We will want to get an SMG and not the handgun for this. Is it an SMG that we unlock? Yeah, submachine gun. So I'll just chop them down manually for now. It's faster, I think, and doesn't waste a bunch of ammo. But what I need is, once we've got electric mining drills to put on here, we want to feed that out. How many resources are in this? 1.3 million, thanks to the richness improvements. We're also going to hit biters soon. I might need to reprioritize a little bit. But yeah, we're going to want to bring that down and then into a furnace stack, which maybe we can set up here. In this open area, we do want to expand westwards eventually. Okay, sure. It is 48 furnaces to a stack, so let's lay out one row of these. There we go. And then it's output, belt, output, like so, and another stack of furnaces. There we go. Get this set up once and then I can blueprint it. You move a little faster along belts, which can be both useful and a nuisance. This is the output side, so it has to go like this. Okay. Come back to that in a little bit. But I need a lot more stuff. This is a part that I both kind of love and hate about Factorio, that you gotta build the factory to get you the materials to build the actual factory, which is itself just an interim step for later on when you build the actual factory. We can maybe make a few... No, let's not make science packs. Let's just improve this. I didn't feel like it a minute ago, but now I kind of do, so... Yeah, hang on, grab all this back. Do I have enough inventory space to take all this? I think so. Yeah, give me all this again. No, you finish making your last science pack. Okay, so... One more. Science pack output. I don't know how many I need exactly for 6 labs, but let's just make 4 of them. And then you need, on this belt, copper and gears. You output on the far end of the belt. So let's have... No, how do I set this up? If I have the gears come in from over here, and then have this unload onto here so it's on the other side, this will be the chest with the copper in it. And then this runs along here with like 2 machines creating gears. I don't think we'll need that many, because these are super fast to make, whereas science packs are super slow. Get that. Here. And then you need inputs. Like so. Alright, this is much better. Oh, belts. Just a couple more belts. I don't know what is up with my throat. I think it's... I think it's a constantly changing weather where it's not quite cold, so I don't quite get a cold, but then it's not quite warm either. And then someone turns the heating on, so the room suddenly gets warmer and drier, which also messes with my throat. It's all very unpleasant. Okay, change this. Like so. Much better. Okay, electric mining drills research. Good, we're gonna need a bunch of those, and I'm probably gonna handcraft the initial ones. Let's have a quick look-see. We are not yet looting biter nests. This one isn't far off though. Reprioritize lightly. Get me these. So that we can be prepared. I have lost bases to biters. And not even on, you know, death mod or anything, just regular base settings Factorio, but with no, you're starting in like a desert, no trees around, trying to expand as fast as possible and not thinking about the consequences. Then all of a sudden the game is like, hey, you remember that there's enemies around the place? I get why a lot of people like to play with biters turned off. It's certainly tempting. But I do enjoy... I do enjoy the element they add to the game. And there is a massive satisfaction in building, you know, a huge base with massive military capabilities and then just unleashing absolute hell on the biters. Okay, right, tab doesn't switch unless you've got something there for it to switch to. Let's get that gun out of here. Get this moved over. Put all the ammo in here. We will need somewhere to put spare nonsense. I usually have a chest sitting around the starting area of the base where leftover bits go in, so this gun will go in here. Once they're replaced, all of the old burner mining drills will be stuffed into here as well. All the nonsense that was relevant at the beginning and then doesn't have any other use later on. I am glad to be back on vanilla recipes after, because my last run before this, it was a while ago, but it was on the Astoria Space Exploration duo, and man, the recipes in that mod pack, the amount of intermediates you have to build, it's ridiculous. Like, genuinely ridiculous. Refill the coal. Everything requires its earlier, simpler versions to build in that mod pack. So you want to make electric miners? Here's a recipe that's more complicated than the vanilla electric miner recipe, and also requires a burner miner as one of its ingredients. The entire burner phase of that mod pack, with the burner assemblers and inserters and stuff like that, really feels kind of unnecessary. I think I actually remember seeing a dev diary at some point leading up to the release of Space Age, where the developers talked about the fact that part of their vision for this expansion was that they want to simplify a few recipes and remove kind of unnecessary steps, because the game obviously gets probably a fair deal longer with the addition of space. You know, now that launching the rocket is no longer the final step in proceedings. And with that comes the fact that the bits before that were required in order to make sure there's actually enough in the game to do are now unnecessary padding when there already is so much other stuff going on. I think I phrased that maybe a little poorly, but hopefully you get the idea. Oh, I have made some of these already. Let's get them in my quick bar. Okay. I do have another 8 mining drills. Should I maybe increase iron production even further? Not sure. What are the ingredients for an electric miner? It does require circuit, which means I need copper and stuff. This is where I run into my dilemma of, is it worth it to set up, the belts in the crafting area and stuff like that for a design that I'm going to tear down? Or should I just handcraft a few mining drills, get the initial one set up, and then not have to worry about rebuilding stuff to use the new technology? I think I'm going to just build the initial setup for a few mining drills. What are we missing? Oh, it is still iron. One more. Yeah, 20 initial miners should be more than enough. Get that first bit set up. We get a few more belts to run it down here. Let's not run sideways around this patch of trees. Let's cut these down so I can go directly southwards from here. Get that all nice and tidied away. And then we can feed that directly down into the furnace sink. Furnaces similarly, I'm never quite sure, is it worth it to upgrade from the stone ones to the... what are they called? What are the better furnaces? They're around here somewhere, but not a super advanced technology. Because here, of course, is the electric furnace. Ah, there they are. Steel furnaces, yeah. Are steel furnaces really worth it? I mean, yeah, chemical science to get the electric furnace, but steel plate and stone brick, so you've got to mine stone somewhere, you've got to put that through a smeltery, and then you've got to mine iron somewhere, smelt that, smelt it again to get steel, and now you're finally getting steel furnaces. And then there are different speeds, so you've got different ratios of belt to furnace. Kinda seems like it's easier to just skip that step and move straight onto electric miners once they become available. But that's just me. I feel like the game is a little quiet. I don't notice, not controls, I don't notice it so much when I'm not streaming, and I usually have something else playing at the same time, but when it's just me focusing on the game, and the only other sound is me talking, you do kind of notice the quietness in between. Okay, one space over. So here's the thing, if I can hold off mashing any other nonsense together just long enough to get even one furnace stack set up, crafting everything else afterwards becomes so much easier when I've got this steady flow of iron coming out of here. So then I can just set up all the very, very basic materials in a little mole underneath here, and it's so much nicer than having to build an intermediate step and then tear it back down again. Okay, that will make all the miners I need. Doesn't hurt to have a repair pack around. Need tons more inserters. Let's grab those, and then we can build up more iron to build stuff with, and we can do all the in-inventory crafting while I'm putting down power poles. I don't know if I'll actually make all of these, so I split them up instead of just shift-clicking the entire stack and making as many as I can. Because that way it's easier to cancel a few if I end up going, oh, actually I don't need nearly this many of anything. Oh, and good timing, we're just running out of supplies over here. Let me stick a few more in there. Let me actually run this belt that's going to be here later along there. I don't have inserters right now, of course, unfortunately. There are fast inserters. You can always replace these later on. Let's put a couple down here, put down a chest, give it all the coal, and there we go. That will keep our power supply nice and topped off. This is still okay. There's 800 and 800 in here. We're not using them very quickly. Alright. Grab a bunch more iron, and now that I've gotten rid of it all, let's grab some coal. Ah, okay, here comes the issue. High-pitched sounds. Most of the time it's fine, but then a little high-pitched something comes along. I'll still turn it down to like 80, which is not quite as much as before. Which is less, but still more than it was previously. Yeah. That should be a nice balance between having the volume a little louder in general, but not having those really high-pitched, piercing sounds pop in every now and then. I'm also going to need some of these. Probably more of these overall. Okay, we're still making miners, not inserters yet. Let's get... Okay, did I just queue up? Just a single one. Okay. Let's get these and let's start at the top. So, one in here, one here, one here. But they cover all of the inserters nicely. I think that's correct. Part of me wants to just grab a blueprint for this, but no. New series, new blueprints to be made. Yeah, this covers these. There we go. That's what the issue was. It would be great if I could just run down a line and hold down a button and it will place them all. Or if I could just place them, like if you click and hold down and move, it will place a new one at each interval like this. But this will not cover all of the inserters on here. And I don't think it can. Right, like if I did this and then wanted to power the furnaces. So, is this in line? Yeah, so 1, 2, and then there's a 1, 2 gap before the next 1, 2, so these wouldn't be covered. Yeah, this furnace here is entirely inside this gap here, so you can't position the inserters in such a way that it would allow you to just drag a line of them down. So you've got to set it up like this with the correct gaps in the correct places. At least one time, then you copy paste this whole thing, put it in a blueprint, and then you don't have to do it again. Which is what I will do once this is all done and we have all of the inserters and stuff laid out. At which point... These all the wrong way. God. I make this mistake every single time I have to build one of these from scratch. Every single time. All the inserters are facing the wrong direction. They gotta go inwards. like so. Because we're taking the coal and ore from here, and we're dumping the finished result out here. And with 48 furnaces, I can't remember what the exact mass on that is, but with 48 furnaces, we produce exactly one full yellow belt worth of iron plates. Which we won't initially need, but once I've got all of the machines set up that we draw all of the various... to create all of the various things in the mall and to automate all of that stuff, we will require the full supply. Okay, now I can hold click and just drag this over and bring it all the way here to our supply. Now we also lose a little bit of a flashing on there, which is nice. Be very distracting. Get some more belts, and we'll need even more than that since we have to run coal all the way down here as well. We can start deconstructing these. We are about to get a proper coal setup. I'll grab all that. Grab all the iron again while we're running past. Okay, more belts. Many more belts. I feel like it would be a simple exercise in like a tiny bit of patience to do the don't handcraft anything achievement. But I just don't have that patience, especially on stream. If it was just me and I could just, again, watch something while I'm doing it, then that would be one thing, but I've got to talk and have stuff going on to talk about while it's going on, then... doesn't sound fun. Okay, get that. That. We'll see how long this run ends up taking if I do stream the whole thing. I don't know exactly how big the expansion has made the game. Like, there's several other planets, but how many hours worth of playtime is there on each of those planets? To say. And there we go, the usual furnace stack that I'm sure everyone is pretty familiar with. The resources come in the top, get split, go down the one side of the belt both sides, coal comes in the side, and you have it run through like this because it means you can just put more and more of these next to each other and have the same belt of coal run through the entire thing. Then I go Control C, and here, all that down to here. Put it in the inventory. There we go. One furnace stack blueprint. Excellent. So this will be for iron, and then we can go right next to it. That will be for copper. But we'll get that build later on. That will mean we're running in the coal from the left. So I'll get the miners on here, go there, go down. I think so. Let's get that laid out a little. Initially we don't need that many. Even using half of the supply on this might be a little bit of overkill. But I like having the nice even numbers. Okay. Run that through here. How far can I go? Or I have to start chopping things down. Is it continuous or is there a gap in the middle? There is a gap in the middle. I'll clear out this in the middle while whatever I've got in my inventory is crafting. Actually, I'm just putting a 7 because I figured I'd need some more, which is not really that relevant. More transport belts. We always need more transport belts. One of the first things you want to see about automating. Okay, how far to the right do I want to go? Oh, this is already enough, isn't it? We'll give him just a couple more tiles. And then, yeah, turn. Also a bit easier to see what you're doing when you start going downwards. When you're going sideways, a tree that's not in your way can still block your vision, whereas when you're going downwards, obviously you see any issues that crop up. Alright, and that will be a coal supply. I thought we were past all of the trees, but now of course there's another patch. I have done it before that I quickly research the flamethrower and then just get rid of the whole thing. A little easier than going all the way for flamethrowers, of course, is you can get grenades, and those are very effective at clearing trees out. Grenades are in military 2, yeah, which is easy enough to get to. Should start. This should be queued up. These are nice to have. These are pretty essential. That'll be all the stuff we look at once we have all of the red sciences fully researched. Let's get this filled in before we start making more belts. Okay. And then we will want to get our iron supply. 5. And 1, 2, 3, 5. And I will need way more of these, but I'll get those made using the iron that these initial ones produce. Let's get that set up. One in the front so that the two lines merge together, and then how do I want to run this? Maybe if I run this up here and then over this direction, connect up to here. Ah, and it conveniently runs just behind those perfectly. Okay, cancel these for a minute, then give them back up. Will quickly get me more power poles. Over here as well. Again, wish I had long reach. And then run this right down through the middle. Go. And power. Okay. Collect some more iron while we're at it. I need to let these fill up. Good. We're also out of copper, and the copper is out of coal. So refill those, refill those. We probably don't need you digging stone anymore at this point. We've got enough to make enough furnaces that we should be good. Turn you so you don't output copper onto the coal onto the floor. Grab these. I want to get these gradually, so I don't fill my entire inventory up with coal that doesn't have anywhere to go. Because coal doesn't really feature very heavily in crafting recipes. So once you start moving away from the burner phase, any that's left over can just start clogging up your inventory if you've got nowhere to put it, no use for it. Okay. No, none of that, please. Somehow managed to clear space to put the belt line for the resources and then put the miners in the one spot that the belts didn't actually cover. It's super smart of me. We have 81 belts, that should be enough to finish this little bit here. Oh, get those in here. Get this central bit. And there we go. There's iron, there is coal. We are golden. And we're also very spread out, so let me make sure that we're not yet drawing in any biters. Those ones on the right here, these are going to be the first issue. Ever so slightly outside of scanner range. This has just gotten scanned. There they are. Alright. In comes the resources. Now then, a few basic necessities. Let's see, first... make gears, and I don't know how other people set their stuff up, what people's general preferences are. I've never made a clean, tidy bus setup or built what most people would consider to be a proper mall. I always just do this kind of messy stuff. Let me just take another sip. Yeah, I do this kind of nonsense. I just want it to be as easy as possible for me to put down. So this will function to create belts. And like red belts are just this in another gear. So when I need red belts, I'm just going to put another machine here. For the red belts, another gear here, and then feed that into there. Or maybe I'll put it further away, who knows. Then... here, what else do we need? Undergrounds and splitters both take belts. We maybe put these here. Undergrounds are a plate and a belt, so give me this output. Splitters are plates, circuits, and a belt, so we'll set up a new thing for that later once the copper's been set up. We also don't need as many of these stockpiled. Belts, we always need belts. I'm going to let this go forever and ever. Undergrounds will leave for a moment. Inserters require circuits, so those have to wait a minute. Electric miners also require circuits. Okay, yeah, lots of stuff requires circuits, so we probably have to get that set up. What we can do is pipes. Pipes are always relevant. And underground pipes. Both of these are things we're going to want basically forever. Maybe not quite so many undergrounds, we can probably cap that pretty low, but just regular pipes, yeah, give me infinite amounts of regular pipe. Real quick, there is one more pure red signs that we can do, and then it's time to move on to the other stuff. So these, and these. Now the green signs requires a transport belt and an inserter. We're making transport belts, and we shall be making inserters soon enough. That's 15, 20, 30, 40, 45, 6, 7, 8. I do hope I actually correctly remembered what the correct amount of furnaces per yellow belt of output is, but I think I did. Light armor. Well, we're researching heavy armor, so there's no sense making that now. Oh, ammo. Ammunition. What's the recipe for advanced ammunition? Ammo, steel, and copper. Okay, we can finagle that later. Steel and copper. Probably easier to run copper over here and have like one furnace set up to make a tiny bit of steel for the few recipes that need it. In the meantime though, I do want to be producing regular ammo, because we're gonna need it. Okay, sure, I can go there. You probably don't need infinite amounts of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, give me 6 slots worth of ammo. That will do, I think. Alright, now then. Next furnace stack. More the copper. I run on the belt, I go a little bit faster. Not much, but just a little bit. Enough for it to be annoying enough that there is a research in the game to give you what's it called? Belt immunity equipment? Because people don't want to be pushed around by the belts all of the time. I think it's very funny. Oh yeah, one thing I also want to do is put a box down here to just stockpile iron plates, because you never know when you want to handcraft something or just need a few extra to feed into a machine or whatever else. So having one of these here, in fact we're going to give it a fast inserter. Yeah, just having one of these here to stockpile for us is good. Then furnaces. The most annoying part about hand building a furnace stack blueprint, looking for this, some copper. Hand building a furnace stack blueprint before you've got bots researched is that everything else you can just hold down and run. Like the power poles as well, I can just hold down and run with them, and they will only be placed in the locations that need them, because the gaps between them, like between spots, are big enough that the auto place at maximum distance doesn't trigger before you hit another ghost, so you place down on the ghost in the correct position and then don't place anything down anywhere else. But that is not the case for the inserters. The belts is just a full line, it's fine. Furnaces, just a full line, whatever. The inserters, with the gaps in between them, mean that you have to place every single one individually all the way down. Very annoying. Okay, I need more copper, I need some more splitters, and I need lots more inserters. These are starting to run out. I will start deconstructing them. I'm getting a pretty full inventory. If these all have another stack in them, then I've got enough inventory space to just take this down for good. There we go. We are moving out of the burner phase of this whole thing. Okay, a couple of these, a whole load of these, and a whole bunch more of these. And with that, we should probably have enough that we can decommission this as well. We will be replacing it with a proper electric mining setup. To clear the rocks and stuff off of our ore patch. I want to make a couple more radars as well. Give us vision over the whole base and spread out our knowledge of the surroundings as much as possible. I tend to stick them at each extremity of a base. So this is way off to the side, this gets a radar. This all the way up at the top, like here will get a radar. This all the way down at the bottom, but this is likely to extend further, but yeah, like around here we'll get a radar. Give us vision of everywhere. Okay, run back along the furnaces. Is it just me, or did they brighten up the night a little bit? I feel like I can see way better than I used to be able to in the dark. It's never been like an issue, it's never been that dark in this game, but I still feel like it's brighter than it was before. Alright, let's get these into place. Oh, we've only made a handful. Come on, handcrafting, speed it up, speed it up. Okay, nothing else I can do there for the moment. Let's grab some more belt and run a line down from copper. So nice to have automated anything set up. So nice. Okay, this will have to end up here anyway, so let's draw the line from here upwards. See whether we accidentally run through anything inconvenient, but it doesn't look like it. Just a few trees in the way. Soon enough we'll have military science 2, and then we can... What is stopping me here? Hello? Okay. Soon enough we'll have military science 2, and then we can clear these out using grenades. But this is why, as I said, I usually never bothered with any sort of power pole automation, because I always had so much wood available that it was easier to just use more of that. Alright. I need a carpool more. You're all out. Good. Have we made the miners yet? No, we've got a bunch of burner miners in inventory though. So let me go drop those off in the leftovers box. Oh yeah, as I said, no squeak through mods, so no running in between miners anymore. The temptation is really very strong to get just a couple teensy little quality of life mods, just a few. But no, I want the vanilla experience. Whole new DLC. This wood will probably also end up in the leftovers chest at some point. Really don't need it for anything. Alright. You guys in the correct direction. And we can immediately see that it's the correct direction because they're loading up on coal. There we go. Later on we'll of course need many more furnace stacks. And a bunch more of them iron than copper. I don't know the exact amounts, but you do end up using, I believe, significantly more copper than you do iron. Like, to a tune of several times more. Ah, just slightly shy of what I need. Okay. Well, we can fill those last few in afterwards. We have enough belt to finish that bit off, so let's go do that. Pull my tracking out again. I'm going to move the phone slightly over this way. And hopefully that should mean that I'm looking in the direction of the screen more often than not. Yeah, just ever so slightly off to the side, that's good. Alright, copper production. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, just a couple for now. And then once they're being made automatically, it becomes so much easier to expand. This was always my biggest stumbling block in Factorio, the whole idea of you build a base and then expand to the next base once that one is sufficiently set up, you know? You don't try to expand your existing base indefinitely. You use it as a springboard for something bigger. So in this case, you know, eventually with those ore patches we saw at Generation, we'll build a much bigger base here and essentially abandon all of this stuff in the middle entirely. Oh, this is a separate thing. There's a... Are these for placing markers or what? Or blueprinting. Blueprinting from the map view. Never used that feature myself. I've had bots, obviously, in my factories, but I've never had a factory so large and automated that I was placing stuff remotely with bots. We can get a couple more on here. One more? Yeah. With the extra richness, they'll have plenty of ore to dig up. There we go. And like so. And then the next loop we'll you know, put another row, get the belt here, come around. That did not go all the way to the end there. A tree in the way. Why is there a tree in the way, not on the tile that the thing is on? Yeah, not a full belt of input, but we can improve the capacity later when we actually need it. But now I just want to get the stuff set up down here so that a few things are being automated, and then we can come back to fix that later. We will not need this many miners being made. I'll let the last 5 finish since they're already on there. Okay, give me more belt. Collapse this down. How much of random stuff do I have in inventory? We can do with a few more iron plates around just in case. Put this down here, and we probably need to extend power a touch. Okay, automation. Circuits. Circuit's one of those things that you probably want to set up separately somewhere, because you're going to need a ton of them. Like a ton of them. How do I want to do this here? I'm going to get these trees out of the way. These making copper wire that comes down to here and combines with a line to make one belt that I can use for the circuits. Like here. It's a little messy, it's a little spaghetti. It's not very expandable. But if it gets the job done for now, and I can build something better later... Put a splitter in here. Run that... run that like this. Run this down... Okay, none of this is lining up the way I wanted it to. There we go, run this down like this. And then these have to go just one further back. And then I get all my circuits out of here. Don't know if this is nearly enough input or not. Circuits have a half-second crafting time. That is really quick. Really, really quick. Not at all sure that we're going to be getting enough input here. We probably have to use fast inserters to feed these things. Maybe some more fast inserters. And that of course uses my regular inserters as input. Okay, assembly machines are used as an input for assembly machine 2s, so we'll leave that be for a second. The screen circuits all along. Then this down to here. Why are we getting so little throughput? I mean, we're not even getting a full lot of input here. I do have some more miners, so let's get that sorted before anything else. While stuff is crafting in inventory. The one belt of iron won't be enough, whatever I do, to feed everything I technically wanted to. Only 900, that's not even worth putting another one down for. We could, just for the sake of finishing the whole thing off. Like the whole patch, I mean. What? Down there. Hook that up. Hook this up. How close is this to full saturation? How much do you produce? How quickly do you produce? Oh, electricity is running low. That will affect their output. This one down here can be removed. Right, all of these can be removed. We don't need more. Don't need more coming through here. It's now all being produced by the electric miners. Alright, some pipe real quick. I did grab some more of these earlier. To get me another, and then another 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. We will absolutely need to run a line of coal down here later on. But it can wait a moment. One in here. This, and another 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here. Ding ding. 1, 2, 3, like so. Okay. So nice expanding our output like this. Solar panels can be really nice in a way that they don't pollute and can reduce the amount of hydro attacks, but man, expanding power by any significant degree using panels is such a chore, whereas with this you can just dump down a bunch of them and suddenly you're producing so many more megawatts of power. It's lovely. Oh, we came here just in time. This is almost empty. But yeah, let's just dump all load into both of these. Right. We need to make green science, which requires an inserter and a transport belt. So is really... what key am I hitting here? Really a lot better off being made down here. So actually... No. Actually, I want to start looking into disassembling this entire temporary science setup over here and getting the whole thing moved on down to where our actual production is happening. So let's get all of this packed up and bring it down with us, including the science labs. Okay, you stay connected? No. Do I need you connected? Is there any other line leading down here? No, this is the only point of connection. There we go. Okay, grab all that. I do know that supposedly solar panel setups are more FPS friendly later on if you're going to mega base levels of construction, where it starts to matter because, you know, boilers or nuclear power have to calculate a certain amount of stuff, whereas solar panels just go, hey, how many panels are on the map? This many? Okay, you're making this much power. Which is a little more frame rate friendly. But I don't know if we're going to grow to the kind of scale where that starts to matter. And 156 red science packs. That's pretty good. That initial setup to just kind of have produced those numbers. Maybe slightly off to the side, like so. Run some power to it. There we go. More vision unlocked, and then I'll just need to place one more up here. I want to be able to see what's going on off to the side. Where is our pollution cloud spreading to? We're not drawing any biters in quite yet. We can finish up the last of this, and then stick a fast inserter here, start stockpiling copper. Okay, cool. So, what was I waiting for down here? What else did I need here? Oh, just inserters, I think, actually. So we really, really need to get those automated quickly. They are an absolutely crucial component of the base. Alright, this isn't nearly enough. We another one of the... let's rearrange the whole setup. Outputs, outputs, and one more. There we go, okay. Like this, and this, and this, and this. And then... here is your recipe. There we go. 5 of them. Which I think probably still won't be enough to feed this. All things considered, but maybe close to enough. It's all temporary, it's fine if it doesn't work entirely perfectly. Okay, let me grab some ammo while I'm at it, get myself all topped up. Now we have circuits, so inserters, plate, gear wheel, circuit. One too close, really? Lift the whole thing over by one. Go. This will make a gear wheel, and this will make the inserter. Like that. Ding, 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 and output into a chest. There we are. Alright, inserters. Oh, you also need a thing, and I think we should probably make this a fast inserter. There we go, we'll just about keep up. Yeah, I think we do just build a full chest of these. Never really have too many inserters. Okay, splitter. So we need gear wheel into belt into splitter. Gear wheel into belt into splitter, and you need circuits. So like so, like so, like so, and there. And then an output chest. And again, these we don't need as many of as we do of the belts themselves. We can limit that like we limited undergrounds. Oh, you also need iron plates. My bad, my bad. Alright, there we go. Splitters being made. What next? Long-handed inserters, maybe? Inserter, gear wheel, plate. We can use a long hand to output this into another machine. Oh, we're out of assembly machines. I'll queue them up like this so that one gets built quickly and I can use it. Long-handed inserter, plate, gear wheel. Kind of slightly awkward like this. Okay, hang on. There we go. Now I can put this here, this here. Also, plate, gear wheel, inserter, and that will make long-handed inserters. There we go. And then output chest. We probably need a few more chests at some point. Put that in there. These also restrict. This is just a little early setup to produce the initial amounts of stuff that we need to then build the larger setup later on. Fast inserters. This is inserter, electronic circuit, and iron plate. Okay, inserter, electronic circuit, iron. It would be ideal to put this right next to here, to be honest. Do I rearrange this a little bit? Or do I make spaghetti? This will still work, and then I can put one of these here. How do I do the outputs here? Okay, no, that's probably a little messier than I'm willing to go for right from the get-go. Yeah, it is just easier to replace this, isn't it? Okay, I'll need to rebuild splitters. Right, fast inserter. There we go, literally just this, and that is all of the things that we need. There's fast inserters, and then we go back over here, gear wheel, belt, splitter. And I shouldn't need to move all this again. So, gear wheel, belt, splitter. Then we bring power in. Ding, ding, ding. Connect up, please. We are. Output chest. And... oh, limited. Alright, we're making all of these, we're making all of these. These are being made. Power poles we will automate once we've got the better ones. We don't need to automate chests, that's a little over the top. We don't need to automate these, we don't really use them often enough. Mining drills, very, very important. Okay, so that's plate, gear wheel, circuit. Gear wheel. Circuits. Plates. I might need to move that radar further down, considering how quickly we're traveling southwards here. Electric, miner, and you need plates, circuits, gear wheels, into here, out here, chest, limit that a little bit. We need a lot of these, but we don't need like full chest worth available at all times, a lot of these. Okay, so that's that, that's these. Assembly machine. Same thing again. Gear wheel, circuits, plates. In, over, in, out. Chest. Though to be honest, we probably don't want to automate the full process of these, because we are going to get automation 2 very quickly, and then it will be Yeah, more circuit. Gear wheel. Okay, so here, gear wheel, more circuit. Right, so this is the gear wheel. This is the assembly machine. Gear assembly machine. So that gets fed directly into there. Assembly machine into there. Gear wheel from here. Circuit from the side, and then steel, and we can set up like one furnace over here to just make a bit of steel. Actually, the power poles also require steel for their recipes, so we'll maybe bring a little bit of coal from our setup, run it all the way down here, and then make some steel down here for the power pole production. Like so. Alright, why are we producing no circuit? We are producing circuits, they're just being used up pretty rapidly. We're still not producing enough copper wire. I mean, that should be easy enough to fix. So, like so, like so. And then your output can run up and over and into here. Oh, I have no more inserters. But now we finally don't need to go handcraft a bunch slowly, we can just grab a stack. Ah, I love automation. Power pole. And more of these. I might even be able to speed all this up by putting some fast inserters in here. We can grab a few more of those as well. And we've already filled up the little chest. I might increase the stack size on those a tiny bit. Oh, maybe I didn't even need this extra bit. Maybe it was just the input-output from the inserters that was causing the issue. Anyway, now we get these much quicker. Okay. The science packs themselves. Copper and a gear wheel, inserter and a transport belt. This is where I will spaghetti a bit, I think. Like so. Okay, inserters. We gotta run some copper down here. Gonna need it for more than just this. Let me get the rock and the trees out of the way. I said the rock and the stone, but those are the same thing. Been watching too much, and now I don't even remember the name of the game. What's it called? What's the rock and stone game called? The dwarf one, not Dwarf Fortress, the other one, the shooter. Oh my god, what is that game called? Deep Rock Galactic, there it is. Been watching too much Deep Rock Galactic recently. Okay, can I pop a little bit of copper across the other side of this mess? These go this many. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks underneath. They can absolutely not make this jump. What I can do is create a gap here and here, and then go through it like this. Alright. Splitter. And a line. There we go. Get me some more undergrounds. Good. So now we have copper, we have inserters, and with a couple more assembly machines, we can also have belts. Okay, say I put this here, I run this belt the literally like 3 blocks it needs to go. That's not what I want to make. I want to make... Oh, crap. We are under attack. I knew it would happen at some point, and I thought I was paying close enough attention to be ready, but apparently not. I want to shortcut through the trees, but it's almost certainly faster to go around than try to squeeze between them. Oh, please don't destroy anything. No, 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 no. Ooh. Okay. It was just a one and it didn't get very far. Alright, time for defenses. We don't need to go super out of hand with that quite yet. Just a couple gun turrets should be okay. But we will need to think about placing them more and more now. This is really, really close. Is this a new one or was this here before? Because if this was here before, then I severely misjudged the distance out up on the map. Stands in place and the worm won't hit you, because they track you, but if you keep switching direction then their tracking doesn't work because they shoot at where you're going to be but you're just staying in place. Which I'm glad that they didn't patch out on this new update. If there was ever an opportunity to change how the worm's tracking shots worked, then big update like this would have been it, and it would have been very irritating to deal with. Okay, that's that. Scene 2. Solution... Okay, cool. We're no longer drawing any biters. We will again soon, very soon. We are running out of coal over here, so dismantle that. And let's start running... I have no more belts. We need to start running a belt from the coal patch. We've already used up all of the iron in that little corner there. Cover all of this up. Get rid of this guy. I'll feed this coal that I've picked up now from them into the boilers, and then run back down and grab some... What are they called? Belts. Cool, that used up almost all of it that we had. How are we doing satisfaction-wise? Okay, so our current factory uses up maybe half. Probably a bit more than half because once this gets down here, once the resources get down here, some things will kick back into gear that were maybe temporarily offline. Of course, with enough patience, all these trees will eventually just die off as the factory keeps running. But we don't really want to wait for that to happen. It will be a while. Lots of belts. Like 700 is good. Okay, so real quick back to this thing. Inserter belt. We get inserters here from the chest. We make more belts here. Because that is easier than running it from up there. We maybe combine these. This can go one further up. Inserter. That's include belts and inserters. Okay, what did I bring copper up here for? Red science. Needs copper, yes. Okay. Red science needs copper and gear wheels. How best to split this up? Doesn't need to look pretty, it just has to function. What side do you place things on? Please tell me it's the far side. No, it's not. Okay. We do need a little wiggle down here. No, this is absolutely terrible. This is terrible, terrible setup of all of this. We're not going to feed all of our sites with a single lab. Remove that, remove you. Really, really wish I had long reach. Okay, change of plans then. Also, we need more ore? Yeah, we need more ore. We need to fix a dozen different things, my god. First, grab some more belt, grab some more miners. Where are we making miners? Down here. Okay, let's set up some more miners. Bring coal over to our power plant, and then come back down here and fix the next bit. I think that's the best way of doing things. And also while we're up here, we can set down that last radar that I've got. Right. I don't know exactly how many we need, so let's just go and be generous with it. Produce 10,000 electronic circuits. I'm gonna have to assume that that counts across like all saves. I sincerely doubt I've produced 10k just in this. We are out of power once again, which is very unfortunate. Go deal with that in a moment. Another line of coal. This is massive overkill for just that one patch. Go, these. Massive overkill for what we're going to be feeding with this. In fact, yeah, let's not do this, actually. Just like 4 drills might already be a little bit too much. Keeping in mind that like all of those furnace stacks down there aren't managing to eat up what those 10 miners are producing. Okay, this will run all the way along here. And turn down. I did not place down the radar while I was ever there, foolishly. Right, last little bit of coal. Hopefully enough to produce enough energy to dig up the coal to get this done. We will try and maybe stockpile a bit for emergencies. Give me a pair of burner inserters, because these can grab coal in order to fuel themselves, so if something is going wrong somewhere else, hopefully a bit of coal remains in this chest, and the burner inserter can grab it, fuel itself, and put it out to fuel the regular inserters and get power production back up and running. A bit of coal is coming down the line here, so let's see how the factory fares if it's trying to restart itself. Instead of grabbing more coal to jumpstart the process, I'm just going to let this trickle down and see what happens. Then we go get science production set up. Transfer belt inserter, copper plate iron gear. We probably just split off a line of iron from the main thing, and then bring it and the copper some distance away, set up like 4 assemblers worth of each science, and then see how things go from there. I need burner inserters on the actual boilers. Because their inserters obviously can't run themselves like this. And also apparently they're bloody slow. With a bit more space, there we go. Put you a little further along so you can sort yourself out. That's not enough? Huh? Okay, now you've got yourself jump started. The whole factory will start moving very, very slowly. So, how much is this little bit of coal worth? Give me another one of these, because some is making it past. Alright, you're burning through that pretty quickly. I think with a proper stockpile we would be fine. But as it stands, we do have power issues. So let me... Actually, this is a great opportunity to be rid of all of this wood, isn't it? There you go. Use all that as fuel. I don't know how quickly you burn through wood. Not quickly enough that it's going to run out before some coal can get here. And hopefully we shouldn't have this issue again. Hopefully. For now, we'll stockpile coal there as these are burning through the wood, and then everything will be fine again. Okay, the radar needs to go up here. God, I wish I were faster. Gotta be one of my favorite bits of the Astoria Space Exploration combined experience. Some of the stuff that they recommend you includes a jetpack, and man, it's really, really necessary in order to get anywhere in any sensible amount of time. Okay, got some radar set up. It will make slow progress in expanding the area we know about. 9 million iron ore up there, 11 million copper ore. We've got resources nearby. And yeah, once again, I really do misjudge the scale of the map. Because when I was looking before at the pre-planning stage, I figured our initial start would fit in here, and then we'd use this area for the next bit of a factory. Instead, we've used up this whole section, what I thought would just go here. But this barely covers the crash site. So really tough for me to figure out how big of an area I'm looking at on the map. Okay, we gotta grab some ammo as well, keep ourselves stocked up on that. Like when I was testing stuff yesterday, I had a much easier time getting my initial science setup done. I don't know why it's more complicated today. Grab a little bit of ammo that I can put into gun turrets as they become necessary. Okay, so... this is kind of silly at this point. Can this go... 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 4 in between, isn't it? Yeah, only 4 in between, so I can't make it go here, which means I do need this other breaker in the line. Okay, but we can put this here and run this along here. Okay, so iron and copper. 1, 2, 3, 4 of red circuits. These need gear wheels and copper, so I can run copper straight up one and gear wheels straight up there as well if I put some assemblers. Let's say I have 2 assemblers making gear wheels, and then I run The gear wheels up, the copper up. How do I want to combine the two? Gear wheels come out of here. Copper runs along here. And then inserter, 1, 2, 3, assembler, inserter, output. Which is where the science comes from. Then, logistics science pack is transport belt, inserter. Transport belt is easy, inserter is an electronic circuit. So... 2 bits worth of electronic circuit. Now I need a wire for that. Okay, so a wire, I need more assembly machines. There we go, give me a bunch of these. The bottleneck here is going to be the actual science pack production, so we shouldn't need to go way overboard with this stuff. So these, and then circuit. And these can come out of here and go right back in here. And then the output for the circuit can come along from here. Let me get this all laid out. So you, here and here, here and here. These, like so, and then out, and then in, and long arm in, right? Yeah, you need iron plate, and then long arm out. Okay, that's circuits, which I need for inserters, and inserters are gear wheel and plate. Gear wheel, plate. Drop this down, give me more space in between, and over here. Gear wheel, inserter, inserter. Chances are I don't need these exact numbers of any of this, because the ratios will be different, but I'm just building it like this for my own ease of use. If I run this up here, and then put these here, and go gear wheel, belt, how long does a belt take to make? Half a second, as opposed to one of these, which is, oh, these are also half a second, okay. I definitely don't need another one over here then. Splitter this. Oh, that needs to go one further back. Splitter this, bring it up here. Like this, like this, like this. Output. I want you on the other side of the belt. These. This will be on the inside, these will go on the outside, that way they can both fit on one belt. And that is... you need the green circuit. These cost half a second to make. So again, I probably don't actually even need 2 of them. Inserters. Transport belts. And that is both of the ingredients required. So then we get 1, 2, 3, and 4 of science lab. Not science lab. Assembler for science pack. That goes in there, that goes in there, and then we output them over here. And then likewise you over here, 3, 4, gears and plates. like so. Use an underground. Bypass this, grab first place of there. This can come feed into here, this can come feed into here, and now there are plates and gears on this belt. Is everything we need to supply these guys. And then all of you can output onto... Oh, you're one tile too close. Okay, shift this. Like so. Like that, like that. Okay. And then we're outputting. Excellent. Excellent. And this can just run along here then. And then that will go up to the 6 labs that we've got right after I move these stones in the way. We still seem to be... Okay, now we are providing enough ore, I guess. This side isn't really getting as much. No, we're not providing enough ore. There's not a full belt coming in. Alright, labs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. This is an absolute mess, but it only has to last so long. Which is what I'll say about the next base as well. It only has to last so long. And then we keep saying that until we have bots, and then we can just tear things down and rebuild them on a whim. And then nothing has to last long because it's all quickly replaceable. I think I'm getting everything into the power pole area here. You want to get automated power poles quickly. That'll be a mark of a new era in which I'm doing things a little more properly. We are producing 3.5 megawatts? Okay, something's gone wrong with the coal production. What are you trying to get here? You want gears and plates. And these. What are you missing? Plates. You're not getting iron plates. This entire thing is screwed up. One further down, please. Over. Here's inserter. This can come down one further. Inserter, 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 inserter. Fast inserter, perhaps, for you. Alright. And now, however slowly, we are making science packs. Let's not stuff all of these in there. No, not an even spread, but good enough. And we're under attack. Let me run up here. Hope that nothing, not too much at least, gets destroyed in the process. Oh, I'm coming, I'm coming. Oh god. 5 entities are destroyed already. Oh, and they destroyed the bloody raider. Stop. Stop. Ah. This will rapidly become more and more of a problem. I shall have to do something about. You. Right, that's all fixed, I think. Yep. Do I have any copper ore in my inventory? No. Alright, paragon turrets. If you would, thank you very much. I'll want to set up some stone mining as well. And get... set up some stone mining and get walls being produced. We are apparently just not meeting the coal demand. Apparently I underestimated how much fuel a couple of engines could eat through. But let's increase this and see if it makes any difference. Now that we're actually able to research again, or we should be able to in a minute anyway, I really want to beeline the car, I think. No, automation 2, mill pack, then engine, that stuff. Car, I think, is still the right option. Maybe some mills, some damage buffs. Ah no, what we've done here is that we've bottlenecked the coal throughput. And that's where the issue is coming from. Where are the burner drills? Here they are. There. And stash up like this. Now we're not interrupting the flow anymore. Okay, we do in fact actually need to expand a little. We are hitting capacity on what this setup can handle. And I just have one spare engine for some reason. One spare... Yeah, it is an engine, isn't it? Steam engine. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. Get these in here. Out of pipes. The one downside to the lovely mall that we've got is that it's far away, which means if I'm out of just like one block of I keep saying blocks. I think I've got Minecraft on the brain for some reason. Might be because the new Life series has just started. Don't know if anyone's watching that, but I'm quite enjoying it. The Wildlife series. Interested to see what the other wildcards are going to be. Episode 1 was quite interesting to start us off with. And I can only imagine if that's what Green considered to be a nice, gentle start to this series, I can only imagine how interesting the later on ones are going to be. Okay, there's only one biter nest currently receiving pollution, so it's got to be that one. We can actually see them gathering their next attack party. Okay, production's once again under control. Coal is starting to stack up. Okay. I might need to expand this. How much coal is in this patch? 704,000. Probably enough to last for a good long while, but not definitely enough. Also running out here slightly. Oh, God. The fact I have to walk around these and I can't just go through. Watch me, by the time we get, I don't know, a couple dozen hours into this series, I'll cave and I'll install Squeak Through and Long Reach. I think everything else I can survive without, but those two, I just kind of need them. They're a requirement for any good, healthy Factorio playthrough. Alright, you guys need to be dealt with. I'm not seeing any progress happening under research, which makes me think that there's some issue I've overlooked in my setup of the green science production. Because I did, after all, hand feed a bunch of red science into the research labs. So the fact that we're still not getting anything seems to suggest that no green science production is happening. Why not? What has gone wrong then? Let's go find out. I gotta get me my better assembly machines in my car. Okay, this is all running. This is lovely. This is full, more importantly. Is excellent. Alright, what's going wrong down here? We're not getting belts. Because there's a single belt missing down here to actually make belts produce. Alright, what are you getting limited by? Gears. What are you getting limited by? Input. Fast inserter, fast inserter. Fast inserter. Providing iron plates quick enough? Yeah, looks like it. Okay. We'll see if you end up limited by anything, or if these just stack up. Yeah, look how long these take. We could probably increase the amount of assemblers making science packs. But we might need to keep up with the demand of 6 labs. Let's pop another 2 on here. Can we fit another 2 of these? The assembly machine. No, unfortunately the way we've got things set up, unless I shift the entire thing down 1. Am I willing to do that? Apparently. There we go. Like so. No, that one could have stayed. Like so. Again, that one could have stayed. Like so. There we go, this time I didn't remove something without reason. We can bring this line up. This needs to be extended by 1, and oh right, the recipe. And we got a few spare science packs out of that. Oh no, I've put them on the wrong side. Green on that side, red on this side. Quite a lot of red, in fact. Too much to fit on here. Still pretty good on their supplies. Okay, and then likewise you get 2 more green science pack machines. Oh, I've got no power pulse, that's why it's not working. Okay. Everything up and running. You're keeping up with demand? Just about, I think. Okay, now assembly machine 2s, which we pretty much did all the setup for down here already, didn't we? Most of it. You need some steel, which is easy enough to do. We shall simply have to bring some coal down here as well, is the thing. What's the easiest way to do that? Run it through the middle here? Probably... Can I filter you? Yeah, I can. Get rid of that iron ore in inventory. Okay, is this sensible? Let's see what running this down here looks like. It looks perfectly fine, yeah. Alright, run the coal. Mill tech as well, which means we now get piercing rounds and grenades. Oh, in fact, this is perfect then. We can put a little indent here where we can put another assembly machine. Got no steel. And then we can make grenades right here. Alright, let's maybe make a couple of these. They aren't the fastest recipe around steel production. Okay, and I again don't have power poles. Let's use up the last of the wood. Oh, right, you actually also do need iron, don't you? So really, I've got to put like this and like so, and then I need to get iron over here, so let's splitter this. Whoops. No, 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 no. Oh my god, that's terribly messed up on all fronts. Has to go one further up so that I can tunnel this underneath. There we go. Now the coal goes through. Get rid of all this on here. Put that back on there. Run this out to here. Nice, there we go. And then... oh, how do I get you? How do I get you power? I can do this and stick a power pole in here. Since they can still grab off of the entrance and exit to an underground. Here we are. Okay, get me a chest. And siphon some of the output off to the side. Alright, and all of this because I need to run some steel over into here. So actually, make this go along here. Yeah. Make this run along here, all the way to there, long inserter, into here, and at last we are making the things we need. Output, 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 output. Output here. To a chest. There we go. Probably like 4 slots worth of tier 2 assemblers. Okay, we have no tier 1 assemblers in inventory. Let's get rid of that and replace those with these. There we go. And then there's really no reason not to just start switching all of these out gradually. As more and more of these get made. The iron situation down here is looking pretty dire, but that should improve as things up here start to fill up. Like right now we're still eating a lot of it to make belts and pipes and ammo, but the ammo is almost full. Maybe we put some of this back. Yeah, the ammo is almost... maybe actually I take some because I need to set more turrets up in the future. No bite is currently attracted. Yeah, this will fill up, this will fill up, this will fill up. These probably won't fill up for a good long while. This will fill up eventually. Oh god, we did not limit fast inserters. Whoops. We can maybe put a few more long inserters that can eat up the iron that's now no longer being eaten up by this. Yeah, fast inserters. And then over here, as the sciences get longer and longer to research, these machines will start to fill up these bands, so we'll have less and less draw over here as well. So this will all come to a halt. And then everything we're making down here is all for stockpile purposes, so sooner or later it will be stockpiled, and then it'll all be good. And this will all run smoothly right up until the point where the ore patches run dry. But hopefully by then we've got a whole new factory built somewhere else that can handle all of our demands. We should also... I don't know if we got it earlier or if we got it just now with the setup, but we do have a faster mining speed, which is nice. Yeah, we need a lot more mining drills to get anything done. And we need all the assembly machines we can get. Engine unit is probably pretty valuable to have sorted out, because cars need those, and then later on some other researchers need those. So engine unit is steel, gear and pipe. Okay, so you don't actually need anything directly from there. So let's set it up like this instead. So steel, gear, pipe. You grab from there, you grab from there. Gear. Logistics pipe. And engine unit. And get you the output. Best. Only one stack. I know there are recipes later on that require engine units. I think the next science actually needs it. Yeah, but you know that's got circuits, advanced circuits, and sulfur in it. We are not going to be producing our engine units out of a single line of output of iron over here. We're going to expand, get this and this, get trains set up, a proper production base over here. Let's feed all of the... because we're going to pick up a bunch of these as we replace them with the new ones. So let's feed that back into here. Okay, what to get sorted first? You know, to get things built faster so that we can be done with this all faster. I mean, you're really limited by how fast this is moving, not how fast the science is, how fast the recipes being completed, right? Even the output is limiting in this case, but you're almost full. That chest is full, which is good. Okay, and yeah, it is worth actually thinking about what I was saying, the expansion path. So this is a good setup to automatically produce the belts, undergrounds, splitters, inserters, miners that I will need to expand later on. But it will be that expanded base that produces the next tier of science and stuff like that. We should set up a little bit of stone mining and get that brought down here as well, so that I can make rails and stuff like that, and walls. We're going to need to produce walls. Let's see about that while the iron sorts itself out down here and our stockpiles build up properly. We'll also have to set up electric distribution, get ourselves some automated power poles so I no longer have to make wooden ones as needed. Okay, here we go, stone. And this, unlike what I misjudged about the coal, this really shouldn't require huge amounts of investment to sort out. We really should only need a little bit of stone, at least to begin with. Later on, obviously, the situation will change and we'll need tons of everything just because of the sheer amount of stuff we're making. You know, when we start concreting over the entire world, then we'll need large amounts of stone. But that's for late game. Well, mid game. Realistically, mid game. Late game Factorio. What late game means for a Factorio player is gonna vary a lot based on their skill level. And for some people, late game is launching a rocket, or at least it used to be before Space Age. Launching a rocket was kind of the end goal. For some people, late game is when they're way past the rocket and building, you know, the 4th expansion to their mega base. That point where progress is no longer measured in researches, it's measured in science per minute or rockets per minute. No, I don't want to use random bits of underground down here very much. Still a gap. Wait. Go. Okay, we have stone all the way down here. Let's actually bring it off to the side, because we're going to want to split what stone goes further down and what gets... Let's not put a full furnace stack, actually. We don't need that much brick. Yeah, we can bring in like this much, and that will be plenty. Get these set up. I feel like I lost the train of thought a minute ago when I was talking about what kind of scale people consider late game and stuff like that. But I can't imagine what else I wanted to say about that besides, yeah, for some people late game is having a big factory up and running and launching a rocket, and for some people that's just the start of the game. I really don't need this part of it, do I, for this particular section. We will still need to come in here from somewhere. Bit of some coal to go down here. Another splitter over here to bring the stone in. Being moved around, which is throwing me off. Alright. That will get us, frankly, more brick than we're going to need for a long time yet. I think even though I was speaking poorly of it earlier, I am probably going to go through the hassle of making... what's it called? Making steel furnaces in this playthrough, since I'm going through the steps of building a mall and getting all these things automated. I might finally be experiencing that thing people have talked so much about, where they build a factory up until the point where they don't know anymore how to organically expand it, and then start a new one and build it better with all the knowledge from before. Previously, I've always experienced that I build a factory up until I get stuck and then just ditch it and do something else. But now I might finally be experiencing actual progress and improvement of skill. Alright, that's a good enough supply of stone. Yeah, I've got stone and brick down here. What exactly did I need those for? Oh, I'll need them for trains and stuff like that. That's what I wanted them for. Red belts, cars, better damage, mill science? Maybe. Not yet, I think. What's mill science? Piercing round, grenade, and wall. We've probably got more or less all the things we need for that down here somewhere. Okay, so in the interim... Right, trains. going to be very important, and if you've got trains you need signals. I don't know how you really set up trains without train stops at the very least. And trains have been reworked in this update. There's a whole bunch of new stuff in here, which is going to be interesting. Steel furnace, counterpoint to what I was saying before, the earlier I research them, the earlier I can incorporate them into my new designs. I'm not going to be building new furnace stacks before I've got the new mining outpost set up, so they can wait until after this research. And then, I don't know, tool belt or whatever. Just something to have it queued up. You can only mine trees from really, really close to them, and it's very irritating. Same with removing stones. Clear some more space around here. All the stuff I'll have to bring down. Now then, I've got steel set up over here, so that should make making power poles easy. Sticks is just iron plate. And then, okay, we will need copper cable. Let's run steel and iron a bit further. So say we make sticks in here. We have no inserters. What else do I not have much of? No, I think everything else is good. I need to ditch these burners at some point. Burner drills. Inserter. I need like 200 of them, thank you. Okay. So, I'll put these into both of these. I'll put into chests. Make medium and big electric poles. Okay, so you want steel, a stick, and copper cable. So steel's coming, a stick is coming, copper cable. We are probably overproducing that up here, aren't we? So we should be able to just siphon a bunch. I put another splitter here, filter it, copper cable. I'll put right copper cable. There we go. Get all the iron off of here. Alright. Copper cable. Run it all the way over here. Now how do I get this sorted? Make another gap here and then just run it into the side. There we go. You can grab with a long inserter, you can grab with a regular inserter, and that is that. All the ingredients for medium and large electric poles. Large stockpile? Maybe not quite this large, but yeah. 4 stacks worth of either of these should be a pretty decent amount. Alright, anything else we unlocked in between that I need to automate? Don't think so. How are we doing power-wise? Probably wouldn't hurt to expand a little further. Probably wouldn't hurt also to just have a couple defenses casually sitting down here. Just in case, because it would suck a lot if biters approached this, and there are some nests that are approaching the edge of a pollution cloud. Yeah, let's bring this... maybe let's not bring the radar down here, let's make a new one down here. Expand our reach a little, like off to the side, like here. Cool. Only a small nest, I can kill that quickly before I do anything else. Prevent it being a problem in the future. This This is not a long distance. I can have my base and a nest in my screen at the same time. And there wouldn't be much building to be done in just this room. But yet if I'm running across it, it's still so slow. I think that's where the big disconnect in trying to understand the scale of Factorio comes from. A lot of room can fit onto your screen at one time, but not a lot of stuff can actually be built into that space, but it still takes ages to cross, which makes it feel very large. Alright, clear out some biters. Did I get the research for the car yet, or is that next up? That's next up. Which is probably sensible. The car will be easy enough to make since I'm stocking up engine units. That's specifically why I automated them, so that I can go make a car immediately. And I think locomotives also require engine units, yep. And we will want to automate these, but these are really easy to automate because we're already making the base ingredients. We're already making the first tier of logistics. And the second tier is just the first plus some more iron products, so very straightforward. Okay, it's getting a little messy and more of these are coming in. Back up a bit. Where are you guys coming from? Oh, there's another nest right there. I might need to clear all of these, really. It's more ammo efficient to kill off the spawners themselves before you spend time dealing with the worms and stuff, because every second that you're shooting these is a second that more biters can be spawning from the spawners. Alright, come down here. Pick these guys off. I don't know if shooting prevents me from regenerating, if that resets the like out of combat timer from until before your health comes back. I don't think I've been hit by anything for a minute, but I'm not regenning. Alright, I should be in range. Yeah, I was about to say, why aren't you spitting at me? I should be in range of you. Alright, and that's that one cleared out. Do I grab this one as well? It's only 2 spawners, so it's not a big deal to just get this one as well. Yeah, shooting definitely prevents the timer from resetting. I should be regenerating health by now. Oh no, this one can see me. Maybe from this angle? Just about. Nope, that one can see me. Alright, I have to hang back a minute and regen before I go in and attack that nest. They're a real nuisance early on in the game, and then really satisfying to just absolutely mow down later in the game. I feel like I would be denying myself the joys of artillery trains if I turned off biters. And like having, you know, once you've got your logistics network set up, having your bots push forward the line of turrets and the oil pipes and stuff like that is really, really satisfying. Yeah, makes you feel like you're playing more of an RTS than playing a factory game. And I think it's a shame to miss out on that, just to not have to deal with a biters early game. I do believe if they're really an issue, there is a setting somewhere to increase the spawn area, which is the like initial safety net that you've got in which biters don't spawn. But like there's a bit of room around your base at the beginning of the game where biters don't generate. It's like this square of special generation where the game makes sure to put water and a couple initial ore patches, and then outside of that square you get all the normal generation and you get all the biters. But of course biters do expand into new bases over time, So no matter what, they will start to encroach on your base. I wonder if anyone's ever made like an RTS or PvP mod for Factorio where you can grow and expand biter bases. I feel like that's something people would do in any game like this where you're playing one side of a conflict. Modest immediate first thought is, but could you be playing the other side? Wouldn't that be interesting? Okay, 39 is a good number of these. The majority of these machines really don't necessarily need switching out. It might even be considered a waste of resources to do so. However, I want to, basically. Later on in the game, when we've got several planets of stuff going on and huge amounts of production, I'm also going to be building stuff with, you know, the fastest belts available, even when regular belt would do, just because why wouldn't I be? Why would I go through all that effort to build all these super fancy production lines and get huge amounts of resources, only to then not use them? That would be silly. I want to be able to see the marks of my success, and one of the biggest marks is better, fancier machines and technology. Alright, we could expand this out a little further. We seem to have enough raw resources coming in to support it. At least it looks that way. Maybe some of my new power poles can help. Okay, we've barely made any. But I'm pretty sure the big ones, yeah, I've literally never used these. Like, ever. I think I put some down for a blueprint that I borrowed from someone once. And that's about it. A whole new experience for me here. But yeah, these power poles are big enough to cover that area. Alright, go in there, go in there. But now we don't need to do spaghetti like this, we can just use these. As soon as we're actually making enough steel for them. Let me also increase the stacks here a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I lost count in between. Yeah, increase the stack size for this a little bit because it's like 20 per train, so we're going to need a little more than 50 stocked up. You're not getting your steel, which hopefully we've alleviated a little bit here. We have what could very generously be described as a stockpile over here. I don't think it quite deserves that acclaim, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. We're probably running out of power again. Oh, no, we're not. But it doesn't hurt to increase anyway. You are, yep, also lacking steel. Being worked on. This side of the iron line is basically sitting stationary, so I don't see any reason not to just jam another 4 onto here. I can craft power poles in inventory. Let's do that. Inserters. Over here and over here. Alright, more steel production. What are you missing? Nothing, it was just being slow. Okay, and hopefully this will help a little bit to get some of our more advanced products down here being made. Because this is not going to stock up anytime soon. This is, and then yeah, these, we need a fair amount of steel down here. And this, I do get the idea of the design of the main bus. If you have got several rows of copper and iron coming down, and then you branch off to the side and you can just go longer and longer. The problem that I have kind of envisioning this is that there is a limit to how, if you're making green circuits, there is a limit to how long you can make the line coming off the side before the belts can't handle anymore. And in theory, I guess you can just put the next one there down below it, but what if down below it you've got another setup that's using what you're making off of there? Do you then start another line and another use setup and then feed both of those back in? That sounds like it will just get messy and difficult to keep track of. So what I like to do is mini spaghetti, and then when I need a new thing, build a new facility somewhere else and just keep things separate. And then eventually you get trains and you can make a big train stop-off point to produce one thing, and then a pickup point somewhere else to grab that thing, and just keep adding more of those as the factory gets bigger and bigger. So basically, train city blocks is, I believe, the official name for that methodology, because after all, everything you think of in Factorio, someone has thought of before and given a name to already. Very efficient players, if nothing else. Let me put one assembler down here to just preempt a future need, which is walls. We are going to need walls. Wow. Might need a few more inputs here. Another? I'll supply you however much you need. There we go, now it's running at capacity. And this will fill up pretty quickly. And I'll let the whole chest fill up because eventually when we're making so much pollution that we can no longer keep up with clearing the biter nests, we will need a full wall around the entire base. And that will require a lot of these. Okay, anything else I want to be producing? I could look into making piercing rounds. Regular ammo, steel, copper. We're making regular ammo like all the way up here, aren't we? Yeah, here. Ammo's just iron plate, which we've got down here anyway, so... What's the other bit? Copper. Yeah, the copper's not doing anything up here. We can bring that further down. We could probably have set up making coil down here as well, or wire down here as well, instead of putting a whole separate thing in. Okay, so steel comes along on this belt. We want to give a bit of room so that the iron can continue down later. So, steel... copper and regular ammo, which is just iron. This, let it off. Oh no, actually, bring it over here, because it's not like we're building anything with just copper off in this direction, so may as well have it properly nearby. Bring these down to here and give you an output chest. There we go, armor piercing rounds being produced. No need to put a limit on this. I put a limit on the regular rounds because it felt kind of wasteful when I know there's better ones. But armor-piercing rounds, I don't believe that there is an improved version of those anywhere in the tech tree. Like if I go down here, military 2, military 3, yeah, we get capsules and a combat shotgun. Then there's specialized weapons, we can go into like lasers or rockets or whatever. Here's the tank. Mil 4, we get better grenades, we get shotgun ammo. Okay, eventually there is uranium ammo, which takes the depleted, or not depleted, the not good uranium and armor-piercing rounds. So that is after another 3 science packs, so it's going to be a good long while. So I feel quite comfortable saying that this is the best ammo we're going to have for a long time yet. Alright, we're getting a few of these now. Fuel production's picked up a bit. Got some more assemblers. That should be enough to switch out the rest of them. And then we need to get the next tier of belts all set up. We're still good on power? Yeah. All good on power. I will run over there at some point soonish and get another set of boilers and steam engines set up, just because it's good to preempt that. Yeah, we don't want to reach a point where we aren't good on those anymore. Now gear wheel is the limiting factor, no longer steel. And that's going to be because there's not enough iron plates coming in, so not much I can do about that, even... Wait, hang on. Oh, this gear wheel. Whoops. That's going to be even worse on the issue of there's just not enough iron coming in. Looks like we're not going to be making ammo for a good while. But that's gated behind steel anyway. It'll all fill up eventually. Alright, heading all the way back up here, or at least this far, splitters. Regular splitter, circuit, gear wheel. So, some undergrounds. One of these. The best gear wheel. Here is circuit. And then... I can bring you another 2 up? Yeah. Okay, how do I set this up? Maybe I bring you in 1. Like this, and... bring this back 1? And then this forward 1, or also back 1, whichever way you want to look at it, and like this. There we go. Advanced splitters. Output chest. And we'll make 4 of these. If we're making 2 of these, let's make 4 of the next one, because we expect to be using more of them, because they're better. Give you a fast inserter. You can run at full speed or near enough. Alright, splitters. Next. Where are we making underground? Up here. Red undergrounds need regular and gear wheel. So what we're going to do is fret about how to rearrange this. Oh. So here ideally is where I want the red underground maker, and then I want gear wheels coming in. What do underground belts need? Also gear wheels. If I put this here, and then these, and then I need the gear wheels fed into them. From in between? No, because then we'd need to sit here with the gear machine, which I guess is fine if I just have these output and then input again. I didn't need to remove that. Gear wheel. And we run... We can put a splitter like here. Or run it from the top. No, I think from here is easier. Remove this. Get this out. Remove this as well. Get this out up to here. That inserter, output into chest, output into chest, 2 belts that are required, and the big electric pole doesn't quite reach. Supplement with a couple regular ones, or medium, isn't it? Yeah, the medium electric pole doesn't quite reach. We're also out of pipe again, which I just noticed as we're down here, so give me like 4 stacks of those. I really need that inventory upgrade that we've got in the works. This is getting rough. No, not another one of these. Let's... probably have to keep this just in case I end up with small electric poles. And there we go, let's put this next to here. We're getting close to the moment when I need to start rearranging what goes where in my inventory. Getting very close. Okay, what have I forgotten to make? Because I'm sure it's something. This, like so. Input. Okay, red belts also gets a full chest. We need tons and tons of these. Red undergrounds gets 4 stacks. Oh, you need a ton of gears. This will be a very slow process, but as long as it's happening in the background, it doesn't matter if it's slow, because we'll still get there. Okay, let me dump these burner mining drills, and then do a little taskbar management. Got V8 engines. What else do I need for the car? Because that's about to become available. I don't want to leave down here if I need some steel or something to make that happen. These are all the things I need. Fluid handling will be important. Probably a speed upgrade would really not hurt at this point, rather than having to put down more labs. Okay, there we go. Right, car. What am I missing? Steel. There we go. Good thing I didn't just wander off. Would have been very... In fact, I'll take all of it. Make me a car. Delightful. Now we try very, very hard not to hit everything on the way. I do love watching videos from people who are very good at Factorio playing, because they will hit absolutely everything along the way when they're driving anywhere in their factory, and it's very reassuring that we're all oh so terribly fallible. Right, the burner inserters, don't need those anymore. And I think that's everything I need to ditch for the moment. Okay, we'll want to put... I could drive this distance, but for short distances, that's the kind of thing where really the jetpack comes in very useful, which is why I'm oh so tempted to mod it back in. I don't know if that mod is even updated, but I saw that a bunch of my usual core spread of mods have. I'm willing to assume that the jetpack probably has as well. Maybe just one more regular power pole. I wonder if there's any new... Oh, these come in pairs? These come in pairs, huh. I wonder if there's a new recipe for making wood, because I know that there's all that bio stuff on one of the planets. Yeah, see, we're making some kind of biological stuff. I wonder if that includes... trees. No, ingredients, 2 wood, products, 1 tree seed. Yeah, I wonder if there's some way to grow trees later on, but at the point that we're doing this kind of research, we'll be way past the point where there's any reason to make regular sized power poles. But I should just place this last one down and then actually remove this from my hotbar and resist the urge to make any more. Learn to use the medium power poles, even though I haven't before. There's no reason to remain stuck with the lesser, like pretty much objectively lesser option. I don't think there's really any genuine scenario where it makes more sense to stick with the less good power poles. I'm sure someone who's played 10,000 hours of Factorio can tell me some edge case where it is the better option, but I don't know it, so we'll do this for now. Alright, chests in the top. No. Chest over on the side with stuff I'm not making use of very often. Then here, belts and then pipes. We use these a ton. This will be for the second layer of thingies, the red stuff that we've just made. I need a collective name for this. I think I would just call them all belts, even if these are undergrounds and these are splitters. Then, after those, I kind of like this setup actually, the way I've got it now. Because these are fairly important, these are very important, and then I want these somewhere near the middle, not near the bottom. Then the power poles after them. Yeah, I think that's a little cleaner, a little more organized for now. These ones at the edges that only had a few resources available are running out. Let's stick another one on here. This has also run out, but we're still pretty good on these. 30k, yeah, 5k, 3k, almost 4. Plenty of resources still in there. Any biters on the way? No. Few trees dying off, but that's fine. Okay. I could have something automate creating grenades. Those wouldn't hurt to have either. Lab speed, we can probably skip bullet speed for the moment. Rails are what we need, really need. Those are going to be hugely important. Could stick a couple more labs on here, even though I said I'd rather just get the speed increase. I think it's pretty much always better to be low on science packs and have lots of spare labs than it is to have a backlog of science packs, because if you've got a backlog of science packs, that's just research you're wasting, basically. Right, because if you're underproducing science packs, then whatever, your factory is researching as fast as it could be. If you're overproducing them, it's just put down a couple more labs and now you've got enough. Really no good reason not to do this. The only good reason not to do it is a bad reason, really, and it's the fact that I don't like how it looks when I've got empty belts off where there are supposed to be science packs. Makes me go, my factory's not got enough stuff in it, I need to make more. Which is a good urge to have in Factorio. We want to be building more. We need more factory. The factory must grow. That's the entire point of the game. Okay. I do wonder if I will go far enough to learn the proper like rail block management, where you you know, have your blueprint that snaps to the grid and stuff like that. I think I will probably just end up building very messy rail blocks. You know, I'm not going to have those neat 2 rails going along with a proper intersection. I'm just going to plonk stuff down as I need it, and trains will come to it as I need them to. I like to have my trains with one direction that they go in, so I build like a rail line and then a loop. So like a rail line, it gets to the stop it's supposed to go to, and then there's a loop back to go back down the same rail line. We'll see if I need to expand that over time. It's quite likely. I could put another radar down here. I want to be able to see that ore patch over there. I can't remember, is it a mod feature or is it base game that you see the entire planet when you first launch a satellite? Like, it reveals everything to you once you launch a satellite. I think that's a base game thing. I think, like, the planet scanning and stuff, that was space exploration mod. But whole world revealed once you launch the first satellite, I think that's base game. Of course, some of that stuff might be part of base game now. I really don't know. You know, I don't know, have they changed how the rocket is built or anything like that? All processing. Rocket silo. Okay, you still make rocket parts. Cargo landing pad, space platform starter pack. Exciting. And it's only chemical science. Like, we can go to space on one more science pack, which only requires sulfur, advanced circuit, and engine units. Engine units we can build already. Sulfur is water and petroleum, that's easy enough. Advanced circuits are electronics, copper, cable, and plastic. And plastic is just coal and petroleum. Really not that complicated. Not that complicated at all. Honestly, I'm glad that I did. I know it was a while ago, so I've kind of lost a lot of the Factorio muscle memory since then, but I'm glad that I went and played a bunch of the space exploration mod pack, because it's really put into perspective the vanilla recipes and how relatively super easy they are compared to the kind of absolute madness that space exploration plus Crustorio demanded of you as a player. Like, genuinely insane recipes in that mod pack. Fun, and, you know, definitely caters to a specific kind of crowd who will enjoy those kinds of recipes, but also just a touch insane, honestly. Alright, get those, get these. Drop this off in here. No more need for this. Alright, we have red ammo now, and we have red belt. Beautiful. And I think, right before we get into railways, which will need a whole bunch of time and effort, that might be a good spot to leave it off for today. We've got our initial mall set up, we have all the basic components we need to expand into a larger, proper base. Struggling a little bit on the iron throughput, which I could in theory solve by putting another stack here. We do have, I hope, enough space. Oh no, these will be sharing a belt. Or would they? No, we have just enough space. Like, barely? If I finagle how the coal goes in between, we have just enough space to put another iron stack up here, or we could just move this, which is probably a lot less effort, to maybe get a little bit more throughput down here. But even if we don't, we have the basic setup to stockpile all of the initial components we need and to research a whole bunch more stuff. So yeah, overall it's looking really, really good, and I am looking forward a lot to play more Factorio. I have to restrain myself now from finishing this stream and then going, eating dinner and coming back to play more Factorio, because oh, I'm really, really tempted. But I'll control myself. I was a little worried that Factorio was too complicated for me to commentate and play at the same time, but I'd like to think I've done a decent job of it. For now, thank you very much for joining me here. I'll give it the same name as we named the stream. Fully automated luxury gay space industrialism. That's not spelled right, is it? Industrialism. There we go. Alright, I imagine that there's going to be no struggle at all finding other people playing this game to raid into, because everyone is playing it. I guess real quick, is there anyone live that I'm following? Anyone I know? that might also be playing Factorio. And no, it doesn't look like it. Okay, who do I send you to? Do I recognize anyone here, even if I'm not following them? Any VTubers up to anything fun? Lots of people. Almost too many people, honestly. Who can I raid to? Or do I give into analysis paralysis and just not raid anyone? Could also do that. Oh, Trippin. He's a YouTuber, I think, who I've watched play Factorio before. I'm pretty sure. He's also got a backseating allowed and no backseating tags at the same time, so that's fascinating. Yeah, we'll go ahead and raid over to Trippin. Or Trippin? I don't know. Either way, thank you very much for joining me here today. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I shall see you all next time.